My boyfriend posted me on his Instagram story for my birthday, and it didn't go so well. Okay, Reddit, I need to vent and get some advice because I'm still reeling from what went down a couple of months ago, and I'm not sure how to process it all. I've been lurking on here for a while, but this is my first time posting, so bear with me. This is going to be a long one, but I need to get it all out. My boyfriend, ex-boyfriend now, I guess, 20M and I, 22M, had been together for about a year when this whole mess happened. It started with something that should have been sweet, but ended up breaking my heart and leaving me questioning everything. Here's the full story. It all kicked off on my 22nd birthday, back in February. My boyfriend, who I'll call Ethan for this post, decided to post me on his Instagram story to celebrate. Now, Ethan's been out as gay for a couple of years, but he's always been super private about our relationship online. He's got this whole aesthetic going on his Instagram, think carefully curated grid, lots of solo shots at coffee shops or hiking trails, and maybe the occasional group pic with friends. He's not the type to post lovey-dovey couple stuff, which I've always been fine with. I'm not huge on PDA myself, and I figured he just wanted to keep things low-key. So when he posted a story with a few cute pictures of us laughing at a diner, a candid of me petting his dog, and one where we're sharing a milkshake, with the caption, "Happy birthday to my favorite Aquarius party popper," I was honestly touched. It wasn't an explicit "this is my boyfriend" post, but to me it felt like a big deal. The pictures were intimate, you know? Anyone with eyes could tell we were more than just buddies. I didn't think much of it at the time. We spent the whole day together, and it was perfect. We went to my favorite taco place for lunch, binged some Netflix at his dorm, and ended the night with cupcakes he'd baked himself. They were a little lumpy, but I thought it was adorable. I felt so loved, and I was on cloud nine. Little did I know, that same day, something else was brewing behind the scenes that would completely shatter my trust in him. Fast forward to a couple of months later, in early April. Ethan invited me to his dorm at our university in Colorado to hang out and meet some of his friends from his econ class. I was excited because, while I'd met his roommate and a couple of his childhood friends, I hadn't really hung out with this newer crew. Ethan was acting totally normal, cracking jokes, being his usual charming self, and I was looking forward to a chill night. He said he was going to run downstairs to grab his friends from their dorm and bring them up to his room. He left his phone on the bed, face up, with Instagram still open. Normally, I'm not the type to snoop. I've always trusted Ethan, and going through someone's phone feels like a violation, you know? But for the past month or so, I'd had this nagging gut feeling that something was off. He'd been extra glued to his phone, turning it away when I'd walk by, or he'd get these little smirks when he got a notification. I tried to brush it off as paranoia, but that night, with his phone just sitting there, temptation got the better of me. I picked it up, heart pounding, and opened his Instagram DMs. Right at the top was a conversation with some guy I didn't recognize. Let's call him Caleb. I clicked on it, and my stomach immediately dropped. The most recent messages were flirty as hell. Caleb was saying stuff like, "You looked cute in that story today," and Ethan was responding with things like, "Oh, you trying to flatter me? Keep going." I scrolled up, and it got worse. Way worse. I felt like I was going to be sick. On the day of my birthday, when Ethan posted that story of us, Caleb had slid into his DMs and asked, "Is that your boyfriend?" Ethan's response? "No, no, no. That's just my friend from school." 3 no, S3. Like, one would have been bad enough, but he had to hammer it home. I kept scrolling, and it was clear they'd been flirting for weeks, talking about meeting up, sending each other shirtless gym selfies. The works. And the kicker? Ethan was messaging Caleb while we were together on my birthday. Like, I'm pretty sure he sent some of those messages while we were cuddling on the couch. I felt so betrayed, so small, like everything we'd built was a lie. I was shaking, tears welling up, but I didn't want to lose it completely. I took screenshots of the worst messages, sent them to myself, and started packing my stuff. Ethan was going to be back any minute with his friends, and I'm not a confrontational person at all. The idea of hashing this out in front of a bunch of strangers made my skin crawl. I grabbed my backpack, turned off my location on my phone, we share locations for safety, and bolted back to my apartment. By the time Ethan texted me, "Hey, where'd you go? Everything all right?" I was already home, curled up on my couch, trying to figure out what the hell to do next. I didn't respond. I couldn't. My head was spinning, and I needed time to think. Update. It's been a few days since I posted this, and I've been reading through all your comments. First off, thank you to everyone who reached out with support. It means a lot. To the people saying I'm in the wrong for going through Ethan's phone, I hear you, and I know it's not a great look. But I'm glad I did. That gut feeling I'd had for a month wasn't just in my head, and if I hadn't looked, I might still be in the dark. My gut's rarely wrong, and this time, it was screaming. To everyone else who suggested ways to handle this, I appreciated the ideas. Everything from sending the screenshots and ghosting him to having a calm sit-down. In the end, I decided I needed answers, not just for closure, but to understand why he'd do something like this. So here's what happened. I didn't block Ethan right away, even though part of me wanted to. Instead, I took a day to cool off and figure out how to approach this. I started by texting him a list of things friends from school don't usually do together. I was petty, I'll admit it. The list included stuff like writing each other love letters, he wrote me one for Valentine's Day, cooking dinner together, we made lasagna at his place last month, introducing each other to family, I met his mom over Christmas, and yeah, sleeping together. I ended it with, so, just curious, is this what you do with all your school friends? He responded almost immediately, all confused, like, what are you talking about? Where's this coming from? That's when I sent him Caleb's Instagram profile picture and said, go through your DMs with him and explain what I'm gonna find. He tried to play it off at first, saying, oh, that's just Caleb. He's like family to me. We grew up together. Our parents were in the same sorority. It's not like that. I wasn't buying it. I texted back, I don't care about your childhood. Tell me what's in the messages. He kept dodging, saying, whatever you saw, I can clear it up, I promise. I actually laughed out loud at that one. Cleared up? How do you clear up flirting with another guy and denying your relationship? I pressed him, asking why he was making plans to meet up with Caleb and why he was sending flirty messages like, when can I get my hug? To which Ethan had replied, oh, you want more than just a hug. His response made my blood boil. He called me immature and childish for leaving his dorm without saying anything. He said I should have confronted him right then and there. I reminded him that I hate confrontation, he knows this about me, and I was literally shaking when I saw those messages. Plus, his friends were about to walk in. What was I supposed to do? Start a screaming match in front of his econ buddies? No way. Then came the excuses, and oh boy, they were bad. Excuse number 1. He claimed he told Caleb we were just friends because Caleb didn't know Ethan was gay, and Ethan didn't want him outing him to his family. I'm sorry, what? First of all, they were flirting. Caleb clearly knew Ethan was into guys. Nobody sends when can I get my hug to someone they think is straight. Second, Ethan's been out for years. His Instagram is full of pride flags and subtle queer vibes. Everyone knows he's gay, including Caleb. I called him out saying, if Caleb wanted to out you, he could have done it already. Stop lying. Ethan kept doubling down, saying, you don't understand my family, it's complicated. I wasn't having it. I told him it was disgusting that he'd use family as an excuse while flirting with this guy behind my back. When he realized that excuse was falling apart, he switched gears. Excuse number 2, he said he was only flirting with Caleb to get him out of his DMs. I had to read that one twice. Flirting to make someone stop messaging you? I texted back. You don't flirt to push someone away. You flirt to lead them on. That's the opposite of what you're saying. I even ran this by my best friend and my sister, who both agreed it was the most ridiculous thing they'd ever heard. Ethan stood by it, though, acting like it made perfect sense. I was floored. By this point, I was done. But he had one more excuse up his sleeve. Excuse number 3, he said the flirting didn't mean anything to him, so it wasn't a big deal. That one hurt the most because it showed how little he valued what we had. I asked him point blank if he was ever going to tell me about Caleb, and he said no because he didn't see it as flirting or anything serious. That was it for me. I realized this wasn't just a one-time screw-up. This was who he was. Someone who could lie, flirt with other guys, and then act like it was my fault for being upset. He tried to backpedal, saying he'd block Caleb and even delete his entire Instagram if it would make me feel better. I didn't believe him for a second. Ethan's obsessed with his Instagram. He's got like 3,000 followers and treats it like his personal brand. There's no way he'd delete it, and even if he did, it wouldn't fix the trust he broke. I told him I was done, sent him the screenshots for good measure, and blocked him on everything. My sister says I dodged a bullet, and my best friend's already planning a single and thriving night out to cheer me up.
I'm still hurt, though.
I keep replaying that birthday in my head, wondering how he could be so sweet to my face while texting Caleb behind my back. I'm trying to focus on myself now, hanging out with friends, picking up extra shifts at my coffee shop job, and maybe even downloading a dating app when I'm ready. But I'd love some advice on how to move forward. How do you rebuild trust after something like this? And for anyone who's been through something similar, how do you stop second-guessing yourself? I feel like I should have seen the signs sooner. Thanks for reading, Reddit. Sorry for the novel, but I needed to get it all out. No TLDR because you kinda need the full context to get it.